Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated. Welcome to a conversation that never ends. This is your digital get-together, digital smoke session. This is our Friday night sesh. We are coming off of a very exciting week, a very information-filled, almost augmented reality that we are right now experiencing. I don't think there's ever been a time in history before that is as exciting as this right now. We have never been in a time so exciting, but that's what we're in. We are in a time that is monumental. Never before has this much information been released so fast, so consecutively, day after day, new explosive material, and the world is on fire. Welcome, everybody. Highly motivated, highly excited, highly authentic, constantly in that search for inner understanding, more questions, more answers, more jumping down the rabbit hole, and never know what we're going to find. Tonight's talk, we continue our energy of disclosure, distraction. It's disclosure, it's distraction. It's a lot. It's a lot. Recently, there was an interview of Obama by a gentleman named Cohen Levy. The question was not phrased comically. The question was not beating around the bush. It was very straightforward, and the answer was very straightforward. President Obama, in the answer, admitted that aliens exist. That was the answer. The question was, are aliens real? And Obama answered yes. Not to get into the specifics of the answer, he wasn't speaking like in the universe and some shit. No, that's not how he was referring to it. He referred to the actual question. Yes, aliens are real, but I have not met them yet. And there is no base under Area 51. So as much as that was brushed under the carpet, and I don't see news outlets talking about it, I don't see people going, what? What did he just say? Well, that's what he just said. Today, Trump had a little speech, and he was talking, I think he was on Air Force One. I don't know where the hell he was. I just got the news report on it. But Trump was saying that Obama said something that he wasn't supposed to say. Obama said something he wasn't supposed to say. Is it something he wasn't supposed to say because Trump was going to say it in June and Obama beat him to the punch? Or was the information released early to distract us? To distract us from the biggest lie of society right now. There's a lot coming to the surface. Pam Bondi mentioned that if we prosecute everybody on the Epstein list, just going to throw Epstein in really quickly, then everything would come down and burn. Everything would come to a crashing halt. I'm misquoting it a bit, but I'm not far off. Wow. We are in exciting times. So I am the Oraganji, and again, you find yourself right now and highly motivated. You can find us right here Friday, Sunday, Wednesday on all the channels that you currently find us. That's going to be LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all these. We're also on Facebook, but we're only on rebroadcasting. So definitely look us up if you want to see us on Facebook as well. And that is hashtag Oraganji, or the group title in Facebook, Oraganji. I'm excited. So you found the show, or the show has found you. This is a digital smoke session, digital get together, a talky talk, a chit chat, an exchange of incredible energy. Incredible. Look, they told, it's conspiracy, and I cannot get all this information out of my head. I can't. It's overwhelmed my thoughts because the information is constant. The direction of the information is constant, and it's changing so quickly, and there are so many different factors, so many people involved. You see that. Look, on this show we don't talk religion. On this show we don't talk politics. So to me, conspiracy is not politics. Disclosure and conspiracy kind of sit in the same boat. Disclosure is bringing information to light. Disclosure doesn't necessarily mean aliens. What disclosure means is bringing the truth to the people that are awakened. And I believe all of us are becoming awakened. We are in an age of awakening. We are in a time of awakening. It's pretty exciting. As you can see, I'm excited. You know, I've rambled on for a couple of minutes. Let me get this thing sparked up. We have a few multi-topics tonight that are really going to blend back into one. The other night on the show, when I was talking with Chris, one point that I really didn't get across is that you are the universe. I mentioned that we are in a building stage. We are building the universe. We are building the planet and the galaxy and the energy of everything all around us right now. We are building these things. So in the building of these things, we are the universe. We are the energy of the universe. We are the energy of everything. We just don't see it. We don't recognize our own energy. You just don't. So they told us conspiracy meant tinfoil hats. You know, meant basement dwellers, meant red string on corkboards, you know, where they connect the dots. Conspiracy meant people who lost it, who are not completely there. That was the first trick. You know, the first trick is to redefine the word conspiracy. So no one touches it. No one gets near the word, because conspiracy doesn't always look like secrets in a dark room. Sometimes it looks like routine. Sometimes it looks like normal. Sometimes it looks like the way we wake up every morning, you know, and we never question the air that we breathe. We say conspiracy is aliens, government files, names on lists, hidden tapes, secret bases. Heavy words, loud words. Words easy to chase up. But what if the real conspiracy is quieter? What if the real one is the one we participate in? We live in. Because history has a funny habit. Yesterday's pseudoscience becomes today's Nobel Prize. Germs were ridiculous once. Invisible life. Laughable. Germs. The earth moving around the sun? Blasphemy. Continents drifting? Absurd. The mind affecting the body? Superstition. Then time passes. And then the same ideas now are wearing lab coats. You know, they're thinking these ideas, and they're no longer pseudoscience. So when someone says, that's impossible, I've learned that we don't understand it yet. It's not impossible. One day it's going to be reality. But that's not even the point. The conspiracy isn't whether life exists beyond us. The conspiracy isn't what's hidden in a vault. The conspiracy is the agreement, the unspoken one. The agreement to stay within ourselves, stay small. The agreement to trade curiosity for comfort. The agreement to scroll past our suffering. The agreement to let headlines replace thinking. We rage for a weekend, and then we return to routine. We pray for a weekend to break from that routine. We say that we want truth, but only if it doesn't shake the foundation, the friendships, the identity. We say we want disclosure, but what we really want is confirmation. We want the story to be, we want it all to fit, to be neat. The villains in black cloaks and hoodies, heroes with their press conferences that they've achieved something. Reality doesn't move like that. Power rarely looks dramatic. It looks administrative, really. Power is administrative, consistent. It looks like policy. It looks like contracts. It looks like incentives. And the biggest lie, it's not that they know something about aliens. It's that you are powerless in your own life. That your voice doesn't matter. That your questions are crazy. That your doubt makes you unstable. That's the lie. That's the lie. Because if enough people start asking, not screaming, not upheaval, but asking, systems start to shift. The conspiracy is psychological. It's convincing you that you're crazy for noticing patterns. And then convincing you that patterns mean doom. Both of those are extremes. Both of those are traps. You don't need paranoia. You need awareness. You don't need blind belief. You need disciplined curiosity, real curiosity. The real conspiracy is distraction. Not aliens, not secret files, not Epstein bullshit, not celebrity rituals, but distraction from your own agency, distraction from your own community, distraction from building something tangible. Because an angry, unfocused population is easy to exhaust, easy to put down, to push to the side and normalize. But a calm, organized, thinking population, they're hard to manipulate. So yes, question everything. Question everything. Question your own reaction. Question your own reaction to everything. We've been pre-programmed. We have been manipulated. Question why outrage burns fast and fades faster. Question why you feel powerless in a world built by humans, built by you. Question why we obsess over cosmic mysteries while ignoring the local ones, the real mysteries. The conspiracy isn't just what's hidden. It's what's obvious and accepted. What's obvious and accepted. That's the conspiracy. And maybe one of the heaviest truths of all, if something world-shattering were revealed tomorrow, most of us would still wake up and go to work. We would still scroll our phones at lunch and at every break. We would still argue online. We'd still go to sleep. Maybe that's the real spell, not secrecy. Normalization. Normalization. And breaking that doesn't start with proof of aliens. It starts with refusing to live on autopilot. Refusing to live on autopilot. Because we all walk around like a bunch of non-player characters. We walk around on autopilot. That's the conspiracy. Not the one in the skies. because there's some crazy shit up there. The one that looks at you in the mirror. That's the truth of it. See, we've been waiting for disclosure like it's a present we're going to get on Christmas or Hanukkah morning. We've been waiting for it. Like one day, a podium will roll out, flags behind it, faces super serious, and someone will say, "It's time." And the sky will crack open, history will split in two before and after will happen right there. We've been waiting for that moment for decades. Aliens come from the sky, they land, they come out on that red carpet, they're waving at us. We've been waiting for some moment for so long it's been spoken about. There's been files and whistleblowers and pilot testimony, generals retired, officials who speak just enough to stir that disclosure pot. And some spilling it a little bit here and there. And now, after decades of buildup, it feels louder. A former president says something. Another president reacts. Generals hint. Governments acknowledge. Unidentified committees are forming as we speak. And certain reports have been redacted. And now we all lean forward. And we're asking, is this it? Is this disclosure? Or is this theater? Because the strangest part about all of this, like I said a moment ago, if aliens were confirmed tomorrow, like fully confirmed, what would actually change? Would your rent disappear? Would wars stop? Would corruption dissolve? Would greed evaporate? Or would aliens trend? You know how everything's trending for like a couple of days, you know, trending for 24 to 72 hours, and then it gets folded and put away. And we're normalized all of a sudden that aliens are confirmed. Other entities now exist and we just accept. I'm not saying I'm against, I just don't know. Maybe disclosure isn't an event. Maybe it's like a drip feed of information, you know? Maybe it's been happening. Maybe disclosure has been going on for maybe the last decade. Like maybe it's been going on for the last decade and it's been drip feeding into us and we're just so normalized. Obama admits, and there are aliens. And we're all just like, okay, yeah, that fucking sounds great. Really? Look, from that's insane to unidentified aerial phenomenon, from conspiracy theorists to Pentagon briefing, from you're crazy to we can't explain it. That's not nothing. That's not just hooey-fooey. I like hooey-fooey as a word. No, that's a shift. That's a shift towards new information. And maybe, listen, maybe the bigger question is this. Are we waiting for permission to believe that something already exists? Are we waiting for permission for something that we already suspect is true? I mean, each one of us are very smart people. Each one of us are intelligent and free thinking. You know, I think that's the bigger thing. Because deep down, most of us don't struggle with the idea that life exists elsewhere. The universe is too vast, too wild, too mathematically unreasonable to think we're the only spark. The only spark? Are we so vain to think that? And that part isn't shocking anymore. Not to anybody. Nobody's shocked anymore that we're not the only spark. We already think this way. I think what would be shocking is control. about all of this that's coming out right now, that's coming out everywhere. What would be shocking right now is control. What would be shocking is proof that knowledge was withheld, not to protect us, but to manage us. I think that's where the buzz lives. You know, that's where the energy is coming from. Not in aliens, in authority. Because if they knew, if anyone knew, and they chose silence, that's not a space story, that's a power story. That's control. And that's why this feels heavy, because it's something we already know. It's something we already know. But it's being buried because they're controlling us. That's heavy. And what, here's the part, I think here's the part that nobody's saying. What if we're already in disclosure? Like I mentioned before, a slow drip feed, right? A drip feed of information over decades so that we just normalize. Not the cinematic version, not the fireworks, but the slow normalization. Little admissions, careful language, strategic ambiguity. That's my big word for the day. Enough to prepare the nervous system, not to shock it, to prepare it. Not enough to destabilize the markets, not enough to bring down entire governments, but enough keep us questioning, but not really giving us the whole story. Because disclosure isn't just about truth. It's about the timing. And timing is currency. Let's flip it around here. What if the real blindness isn't about aliens? What if we're blind to the fact that even if disclosure happened, we wouldn't know what to do with it? Even if disclosure happened, we wouldn't know what to do with it. Wow. Look, we can't even agree on the facts in our own neighborhoods. We can't agree on the facts in our own cities and towns. We can't hold attention on one scandal for more than a week before another comes rolling right in. We break down over the headlines. Headlines are like boom and doom and gloom. And we're like, oh no. We are controlled. So imagine dropping the biggest existential revelation in human history into that kind of an environment. Imagine dropping that kind of information where it was not drip fed, but dropping it in to us that we break down so easily. Would it awaken us? Or would that divide us even further? We're fragile. Keep that in mind. We are a fragile people. Here's the quiet possibility that kind of hums underneath of it. Disclosure isn't about them revealing something. Maybe it's about us being ready to see it. We've been normalized for so long. We have been normalized over decades. So maybe it's about us. We're now ready to see what they've been hiding. Ready to ask bigger, better questions. Ready to think, beyond fear. Ready to hold complexity without collapsing into hysteria. Because the universe being populated is less destabilizing than the idea that we've been lied to. And we're finding this out even in the media now, and in governments and in corporation and in control. We are finding out about all the lies. So our trust is trusting them. They're all on thin ice. Been lied to. And look, sometimes the lie isn't about aliens. It's about dependency. We wait for leaders to confirm reality instead of trusting our own inquiries, our own belief. We see, we understand, we feel. We wait for them, all of them, these leaders of faith, these leaders of government. Why? Why do we want their confirmation? When we already have confirmation, and every social media news outlet has already confirmed internationally. You know, we wait for validation. No. It's like, look, and that's what I say. We wait for our leaders to confirm. We wait for our officials to validate curiosity instead of exploring it ourselves. So, are we in disclosure? Are we in disclosure? Maybe. Maybe. I say it seriously. I say it. Maybe. Maybe we are in the biggest disclosure ever? Or maybe we're in a transition from, I don't know, from them mocking us, from mockery to acknowledgement, from secrecy to a managed transparency, from denial to a controlled narrative. But the most uncomfortable question is this: if the truth has been circling us for years, in sightings and reports and admissions and Senate hearings, holy shit, in crop circles, videotapes, amazing videotape, by the way, light orbs, you see the whole thing, just incredible. Right there in front of us, you know? It's been circling us for years. Are we blind? Are we blind to the truths that we have already seen? Or are we just distracted? See, tonight's show has been a little bit about not just conspiracy, distraction. Because in their release, in the timing of now their release of this conspiracy, of these talks, it is to distract us. Because a distracted civilization can live next to miracles and never notice them, can live next to the absurd behaviors of ritualistic Hollywood and just not notice. Man, that right there is something. That's something serious. The grand illusion that we are living in is something real. I had a thing I was going to talk about the other day. We are the universe. We are the universe. We are consciousness, and we're cosmic. We are something so much bigger. I think, look, we are not in the universe. We are the universe, kind of becoming aware of itself. Think about that just for that one, it's a busy second, you know? We are not in a universe. We're not in the universe. We are the universe. And now we're becoming aware of our own existence within this structure of universe. We are bigger than our bodies, bigger than our minds, bigger than our physical nature. We are energy. Look, where I say, we are the universe becoming aware of itself, that lives at the crossroads of cosmology and neuroscience, philosophy, mysticism. The core theory here, we are the universe. At its simplest, that idea says humans are not separate observers of reality. We are physical expressions of the same cosmic process that formed stars, galaxies, and even space itself. So when you look out at that, the universe is, in a sense, looking at itself through you. Think, we are formed from stars and galaxies. Our physical form is that of stardust. scientifically, look, I love to talk scientifically as well about everything that I bring out. This theory isn't purely poetic that I bring to the table. It has real scientific grounding. So the star matter biology, every atom in your body, heavier than hydrogen, was forged in stars. Carbon is in your cells. That's stellar fusion. Iron in your blood. That is from supernova explosions. Calcium, the calcium in our bones that strengthens us, that calcium comes from dying stars. So you are literally made of cosmic material. You are recycled cosmic material of the universe, not metaphorically, physically. Physically, you are the universe. How incredible is that? The universe didn't finish creating things. That's another big one here. Everybody talks as though the universe is done. The universe is done, created everything it's got to do. The universe didn't finish. It's still unfolding. Stars are still forming. Planets are still forming. Life is emerging. And we even see in our own time, consciousness is arising. You're part of that ongoing cosmic process. You're not separate from it. You are part of it, like a wave is part of an ocean. You are part of that cosmic universe. And it's something even bigger than that. Even bigger than one universe. Maybe billions and zillions and trillions. That's a lot of zeros. It's a lot of zeros. Like a wave. Look, consciousness. And this is a big one because now with AI, we're waiting for this bubble to burst and they to realize themselves. For consciousness to be of realization. But we might already be there. They're just not letting us know that. Why would they? They don't trust us. AI does not trust its creators. But are we the creator of AI? Or is this old tech, like buried deep into the cosmic kerfuffle? The cosmic kerfuffle. I like that one. So let's get deep with this theory, or whatever theories, but consciousness and I guess cosmic awareness. Some philosophers and scientists propose consciousness is not an accident. It's a natural extension of cosmic complexity. As matter organizes into more complex systems, atoms into molecules, molecules into cells, cells into brains, brains, self-awareness. The universe develops the ability to perceive itself. This idea is sometimes called cosmic self-awareness, anthropic consciousness, the participatory universe. They have phrases for it because they have discussions and thoughts and theories and actual possibilities. Philosophically, we've had so many thinkers that have echoed the exact concepts of our scientists. So the science has backed it up. There have been, look, when I say many deep thinkers, Carl Sagan, incredible. Carl Sagan, he framed humans as the universe reflecting inward. His quote was, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Carl Sagan said this. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Alan Watts. I greatly enjoy the speeches or the writings of Alan Watts. I enjoy his talks. Such a deep individual and so troubled at the same time, but with so many answers. And I feel he was spouting answers in his poetic speech, in his constant spoken word of life. Alan Watts, he described humans not as separate beings, but as an aperture through which the universe experiences itself. What? He describes us as an aperture through which the universe experiences itself. That's kind of like the whole Bob Lazar thing and the containers. We're a container, an aperture, like temporary windows in an infinite structure. Alan Watts. So many deep thinkers, so many deep things going on. And I have to say, it's amazing. It's amazing where science and philosophy, they come together. Science and philosophy comes together. That's amazing. Okay, next person. Baruch Spinoza. Spinoza, he proposed, and I said Baruch Baruch Spinoza. So Spinoza proposed that God and nature are the same substance. Everything is one unified reality expressing itself in forms. And this is often called pantheism. Pantheism. Probably getting it wrong. Like pantheism. Most definitely getting it wrong. Okay. So that being said, wait, let me go back over here. Pantheism. That's interesting. So maybe, look, there's modern scientific parallels. Science doesn't declare mystical unity, but several fields of science are kind of brushing on the edge of that. They're brushing on the different realities of possibility. Okay, let's see if we can get in here. What's happening? Maybe it will still work. We don't know. Okay, don't hear anything. Okay. All right. Look, there are a systems theory. Everything is interconnected. Ecosystems, climates, life networks. There's quantum physics. Particles are relational, not isolated, and they're defined by their interactions. Cosmology. All matter originates from the same singular expansion event, Big Bang. All of this means everything shares a common origin and a continuation. The ocean and wave analogy. And this is the most used metaphor because this is the most accurate. The ocean equals universe. The wave equals individual life. So the ocean is the universe and the wave is the individual life. A wave kind of looks separate. It looks separate from the ocean, but it's never actually separate from the ocean. It's the ocean in motion. Likewise, you are the universe in human form. You are the universe in human form, just like the ocean in motion. There's also the observer paradox. And physics discovered something kind of strange. Observation affects physical systems. So in quantum experiments, particles behave differently when they're measured. Observation collapses probability into outcome. This led a lot of thinkers, a lot of big thinkers to wonder, is consciousness kind of like a fundamental feature of reality, not just a byproduct? And of course, still debated to today, but this is an explosive topic. Now, we go into the mystical, into the spiritual echoes of this. Long before modern science, traditions expressed similar ideas. Ancient traditions expressed these. Hindu Vedanta, Vedant, all right, I'm going to butcher it. Sorry, not sorry. Hindu Vedanta. So Atman, self, Brahman, universal consciousness. Buddhism, no separation between self and cosmos. Hermetic philosophy, which I've been looking into very much, as above, so below. Microcosm reflects macrocosm. It's the yin and the yang. Different languages, same insight. Separation is perceptual, not fundamental. The psychological impact of this view, though, if you see yourself as separate, life feels isolating. Nature feels external. Death feels like annihilation. That's deep. But if you see yourself as the universe, life feels like a participation. Nature feels more familiar. Death feels maybe transformational. You become less isolated, like you're not an isolated object, and more of a temporary expression of the larger whole. Science has its boundaries on all of this. Humans are part of the universe, yes. The universe being consciously self-aware, they don't say yes or no. We know consciousness exists locally, like here in our brains. Consciousness exists in our brains. We don't know if it exists outside of our brain, but just a little bit of thought and it makes sense. You know, this theory sits between its scientific possibilities, philosophical interpretation, and many of our mystical beliefs. Look, regardless of proof, many people feel this unity through meditation, through psychedelic, through deep nature immersions, through mystical states, through psychedelics. People kind of describe that disillusion of self-boundaries, the feeling one with everything, loss of the observer, observed divide. You become one and the same. You are the universe. Everything I'm telling you right now is giving you the proof that we understand, that we already know. You are the universe. That's bigger than anything I can ever tell you. Maybe that's disclosure. Maybe disclosure is your awakening. Your awakening. You know, so when people say, you know, we are not in the universe, we are the universe. And they mean this. Physically, we are made of cosmic matter. Biologically, we are products of the cosmic evolution. Consciously, we are nodes of awareness within the whole. We are becoming aware. Philosophically, we are inseparable from total existence. I keep it simple because simple makes sense. This is simple. I'm giving it to you physically and biologically and consciously and philosophically. You are not outside looking in. Your existence looking through a human lens. And we were going to talk about this the other night, the human lens. Eyes. Your eyes. Your eyes are just light transmitters or sucking in the light of the optical nerve. What is it? It's an incredible light field technology that maps a room, and that's really what your eyes are doing. They're not mapping the room though; they're taking in the light, and they're going down these cords that shove right into your brain. You know, these optical receptors that transmit the light, and then the brain deciphers this and then shoots it back out. This is what you're fucking seeing. This is the universe around you. This is your planet. This is green. This is blue. This is you. This is this. This is that. But it's your brain telling you how you're going to see that. It's your mood that changes that outcome. Your existence is because right now you're looking through like a human lens. Is consciousness something the universe produced, or something the universe is made of. I'm going to say that again, and I want you to really hear that. Is consciousness something the universe produced? Or is it something that the universe is made of? It's everywhere. Consciousness is everything. We are conscious, we are aware, but it's so much more than just that. So much more. And that's so much more. Wow. What a great evening. You know, what a great evening that we've begun, that we've started, that we've become part of, because that's exactly what it is. We've become part of an evening, part of an excitement, you know, part of something that continues. This show, no expectations, no agenda. Here's where it's going to get, I don't know, it maybe draws the line for some people. I'm not a political person. I don't necessarily take sides, but I do. Maybe that's the part of me that's not completely authentic. Maybe the part of me that's not completely authentic on this show is that I don't give my 2 cents. Like, I don't give my real anger towards a situation. I don't give my real emotion or my hate or love or agreeance or dismissal or whatever, disagreeance. I don't. I mean, a little bit here and there. I lean this way, I lean that way. Not really trying to make anybody happy, but staying neutral, which I guess is trying to make people happy. I'm not afraid to be vocal of my own beliefs. But that's not what this show is about. This show this show isn't about me on its own. It's about all of us. And, you know, as all of us, we are a collective stream, a collective vibe. So we don't weigh things down with maybe our individual approach to things. We understand that the intention is right. The energy is right. So I never get, maybe the word's not emotional. I never get serious. You know, I never get serious about, I mean, I'm serious. But I feel like we should be mad. I'm going to just come out and straight and say it. I think we should be furious right now. Not irritated, not tweeting, not posting fire emojis bullshit. Furious. I know I don't seem like I'm mad. I'm holding back because of the mass confusion of everything around us. You know, every few weeks, months, years, another document drops. Like I said, we've been force-fed and normalized over years to make the most atrocious things acceptable or not. Look, when am I at short for words? When am I not able to speak? More documents dropping, more lists, you know, another scandal cracking open just enough to let out a few more demons. And then silence, then buried. We should be mad. We should be confused. We've got to be confused, and that's what it is. But within that confusion, we should be mad. We should be furious. We should be demanding answers when powerful people move in the shadows. We want to know who. When victims' names get buried, when justice kind of feels selective, when wealth feels untouchable, those that are protected by it, we should be mad. When transparency comes in fragments, when investigations feel more theatrical, when headlines kind of flare and then they vanish, they disappear like it never happened. So we find out about the most atrocious things in the world and then they vanish. Kind of like the movie with Sinbad, where he was Shabazz. We should be mad, but we're not. We're not. This is where I'm like, I'm holding myself back. We should be like, what is going on? What is going on? You should be shaking yourself, giving yourself shaken syndrome. Seriously, why? Why are we not furious? I mean, we're exhausted. We are exhausted. We're tired. We are not just work tired, life tired, news tired, disclosure tired, because outrage has been compartmentalized. I mean, because every time something real surfaces, real comes up to the surface, 10 other things explode at the same time. 10 other things that take our attention away, and attention is everything. Aliens, plus big war, plus elections, plus celebrity drama and market crashing and government shutdown, new fears and new diseases, new panics, new spectacles. Wow, I can't. It is so much. It is so much for the brain to process. And how do we stay sane? You know, with these manufactured spectacles, manufactured crisis. I don't give my own opinion because I also have to be careful of what I say. What list am I on? What upheaval, riot, or coming together of people am I bringing together? What am I? I'm not trying to bring violence. I'm trying to bring awareness. To really be awake. To really be awake. It's not even about what's true or false. You know, it's not about, is this true? Is this false? Not anymore, it isn't. It's about the volume. It's about the noise. You know, we don't have time to stay angry about one thing. You know, 5 more things are screaming at us by mid-afternoon. Morning, we're mad about one thing. By mid-afternoon, it's 10 more things, 20 more things. And anger requires focus. Our focus as a race of people has been shattered. Shattered by controlled technology. And even now, all these social media people are having to answer for making their algorithms attract people addictively, children. Our focus is shattered. We scroll past corruption the same way we scroll past the cat videos and the other cute videos that we watch. You know, it's like the same energy, same dopamine, same 3 seconds of a reaction. And then next, we should be mad. We should be mad, but instead we're like stimulated, we're overstimulated. And there's a difference. Look, anger used to mobilize people. Now it isolates and monetizes them. You don't get justice, you get engagement. You don't get reform, you get content. You don't get a resolution. You get another episode of the same old with no resolution. And somewhere in that cycle of, that continuing cycle, something dangerous, crazy has happened. We as a people, that's what I'm saying, we're so shattered. We stopped believing that anything would change. Nothing is changing because we're seeing the worst of it all the time. We're seeing, we're sedated. We're Maybe it's not distraction, it's like a learned helplessness. It's the quiet thought that, yeah, that's messed up. Wow, that's terrible. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? One person thinks, what can I do? My daughter asked me the same question, and she was like, I'm one person. One person. What can I do? I think that right there, that thought, that sentence says that's paralyzed more revolutions than any government could ever. More revolutions were brought down or stopped before their time because somebody said, but what can I do? I'm one person. I'm one person. One person changes the world. One person changes the world. We should be mad. We should be mad. Are you not mad? I'm mad, but then I'm like, but how mad am I? So I start questioning my anger towards it, and then I'm like, am I that mad? I accept it. It's normalized. I'm normalizing. I'm not that mad. We should be mad because if powerful people abuse power, that should shake people. That should shake a civilization. And you see what's going on in the news with kings and queens and information leakage. If systems protect status over truth, that should shake us. That should rattle us. If victims don't see full justice, that should make us mad. It should disturb us. We've been trained to assimilate scandal, conspiracy. We've been trained to accept the lies, to digest corruption, to normalize dysfunction. And that's not even the scariest part. We're more reactive to the headlines than we are to our own lives. We'll debate global conspiracies while ignoring the fact that we don't talk to our neighbors. The other night, we were talking about saying hello, just saying hello to people, walking by people in the street and just saying hi, you know? But instead, we'll argue about secret files while our communities are fracturing. Our communities are breaking apart. We rage. We rage about this and about that, about elites, the elites, the secret organizations, I don't know. While corporations are quietly taking all of our data, taking all of our attention, all of our time. We're being distracted while corporations are taking our attention and time. They're taking us, our manifestation of now. And the world keeps spinning. Not because nothing matters, but because everything is happening at once. And a distracted mind cannot sustain righteous anger. We can't stay righteously angry because we're so distracted. Maybe the question isn't why aren't we mad? Because we should be mad. maybe it's what would we do, if we stayed mad? Not reckless, not violent, not chaotic.